The building is on fire. Alarms scream. People run in every direction. Smoke fills the air. Your heart races. Your hands shake. But there's one person moving through the chaos with perfect calm. Not frozen. Not panicking. Moving with absolute clarity and purpose. That person just saved 3 lives while everyone else was paralyzed by fear. In 17th century Japan, they called this state Fudo Myo-O, the immovable mind. Miyamoto Musashi mastered it so completely that he could face 10 armed men simultaneously, without a single moment of panic. Not because he felt no fear, but because he trained his mind to remain unmoved by chaos. And in the next 8 minutes, you're going to learn the exact technique that creates this unshakable composure, whether you're facing a business crisis, family emergency, or any moment when everyone around you is losing control. Welcome to Japanese Secrets, where ancient samurai wisdom meets modern life. Before we begin, comment below which city you're watching from and what you think about this video. Now, this technique isn't about suppressing emotion or pretending fear doesn't exist. It's something far more powerful that took Musashi decades to perfect. Fudo Myo-O is a Buddhist deity whose name translates to the immovable wisdom king. He stands surrounded by flames, wielding a sword, his face fierce with determination. But despite the chaos around him, his body never moves. His mind never wavers. Musashi was so devoted to this principle that he carved a wooden statue of Fudo Myo-O with his own hands. Why? Because this deity represented everything Musashi believed about the warrior's mind. In Zen teachings, Fudo Myo-O symbolizes a mind that sees everything but is moved by nothing. Not indifference, not coldness, but a state of total clarity where external chaos cannot disturb internal stillness. Musashi described it this way: if 10 men, each with a sword, come at you with weapons brandishing, if you parry each sword without stopping the mind at each action, you will not lack for a proper action for each of the 10. Read that again. 10 attackers, 10 deadly weapons. And Musashi's instruction isn't about faster reflexes or better technique. It's about not stopping the mind. The moment your mind stops on one problem, you lose sight of the other 9. The moment you panic about one threat, you become blind to the rest. This is why most people fail under pressure, not because they lack skill, but because their mind stops. It freezes on one problem and cannot flow to the next. Fudo Myo-O teaches the opposite, a mind that flows like water, touching everything, stuck on nothing. Musashi didn't just philosophize about this, he lived it. In one famous incident, he faced multiple members of the Yoshioka clan simultaneously. Lesser warriors would have focused on defeating one opponent at a time. Musashi's mind never stopped on any single attacker. He moved through them like wind through trees, responding to each threat the instant it appeared, never dwelling, never hesitating. His sword teacher Tokuon Soho explained the principle this way: the mind must be as clear and devoid of attachment as a cold stream, reflecting the activities, intentions, and morals of the opponent. Notice the word reflecting. A mirror doesn't judge what it sees. It doesn't panic about ugly images or celebrate beautiful ones. It simply reflects everything with perfect clarity. That's the immovable mind. You see the chaos, you acknowledge the danger, but you don't let it move you from your center. Musashi also applied this to his art. When painting, his brush moved with the same immovable clarity as his sword. When writing calligraphy, each stroke reflected a mind that was present but not attached. He wrote, "What is called Fudo Myo-O concerns an immovable mind and an unshakable body. Not a rigid mind, not a tense body, but immovable in the sense that external circumstances cannot displace your internal stability, like a mountain that remains unmoved whether the weather is calm or storming." So, how do you develop this immovable mind today? First, practice the principle of one thing, complete attention. When crisis hits, most people's minds scatter across 10 different worries simultaneously. The immovable mind does the opposite. It gives complete attention to this moment, this action, then flows immediately to the next. In a business crisis, this means addressing the most urgent issue with total focus, then moving to the next without carrying the emotional weight of the first. Second, train mental flow in low-pressure situations. Next time you're doing routine tasks, Practice moving from one to the next without pause, without judgment, without your mind stopping to criticize or celebrate. Washing dishes, complete one. Flow to the next, emails, respond, send, move on. This trains the flow state that becomes automatic under pressure. Third, develop what Musashi called everyday mind. He treated ordinary moments with the same clear awareness as life or death duels. Walk to your car with the same presence you'd bring to an important presentation. Make breakfast with the same clarity you'd need in an emergency. When your default state is clear, awareness, pressure doesn't disrupt you because you're always there already. Fourth, create a physical anchor for returning to center. Musashi used his breathing. When chaos surrounded him, 3 deep breaths returned him to immovable clarity. Find your anchor. Maybe it's touching your thumb and forefinger together. Maybe it's a specific breathing pattern, something that instantly signals your nervous system. Return to center, unmoved. Fifth, remember that the immovable mind isn't about never feeling emotion. It's about not being controlled by it. You feel the fear, acknowledge it, then act anyway. You notice the anger, see it clearly, then choose your response. The flames can surround Fudo Myo-O, but they cannot move him. Miyamoto Musashi spent 60 years perfecting the immovable mind, facing death repeatedly and learning to remain unmoved. But he also taught that this principle works in every aspect of life. Your mind can be immovable in chaos, clear in confusion, steady when everything around you shakes. The ancient warriors knew that the greatest strength isn't in never facing storms, but in remaining centered while storms rage. Your composure under pressure isn't about being emotionless. It's about being unmoved by emotion. It's about seeing everything and being disturbed by nothing. That's the power of Fudo Myo-O. That's the gift Musashi left us. Comment below what situation you'll apply this immovable mind to first. And if you want more authentic samurai wisdom for navigating modern chaos, subscribe to Japanese Secrets. The ancient masters are still teaching.